I don't know, Trey.
Hey, Storm Freaks. Have you ever wanted to learn how storm chase better or maybe just freshen up on some advanced skills? Storm Chase Coaching has just launched, and we have co-creators Trey Greenwood and Gabriel Harber here to take us along with them. Plus all of our normal news and shenanigans, all on episode 233 of the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Going green. Greenwich. Saddle up. You got it, boss.
Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks, brought to you by our Patreon team. Thanks to all of our Patreon teammates scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And if you'd like to support the show and become a teammate, join us over on youtube.com/StormfrontFreaks. We've got some new $5 and $15 tier areas similar to Patreon that include benefits that we're rolling out this month. Benefits include unique emojis, member-only content, discounts on merchandise, and more. And if you haven't joined us yet, come on over and thank you for your support. Hey, time now to find out who's here for tonight. We're going to give you our wicked weather report.
Uh-oh.
You're the first one, Matt.
I just needed
All right.
time to switch to my TV voice. That's what I needed.
Ooh,
Welcome
Matt.
back to Wicked Weather Report. I'm former on-camera meteorologist Mark Maz Massaro. We're kicking off with a monster storm system that's been tearing through the Midwest and the South since late March. As of April 7th, reports confirmed at least 20 fatalities across 5 states: Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, and Indiana. This relentless wave of severe weather unleashed over 30 tornadoes, catastrophic flash flooding, and even derailed a train in Arkansas when floodwaters collapsed a railroad bridge. The National Weather Service is calling it a once-in-a-generation event, with rivers swelling to major flood stages and more rain forecast through this week. Storm chasers have been out in force, dodging baseball-sized hail and documenting the chaos. Stay safe out there, freaks. This one's a beast, and the season is not done yet. Brady?
Ooh, Brady.
I think you're
Hey.
muted.
That's so awkward. Yes, it's like I've never done this before. But yeah, guys, like Maz was saying, I am Stormfront Freaks meteorologist, not Outlook like the script says, Outbreak meteorologist, Brady Harris, aka
Ooh.
Stormcat 5. And next up on the Wicked Weather Report, guys, this past week that we just had was one of the most active severe weather weeks that I think I can remember. From March 29th through April 3rd, really it was through April 5th, the U.S. saw over 1,700 severe weather reports, including over 150 tornado reports. We had over 500 tornado warnings. And guys, we are at record levels of tornado warnings through 2025. This is the most tornado warnings that has been issued through April 7th since 1986. So it's been an unbelievably active start to the year, and we are just getting started on this severe weather season. We had a total of 728 tornado warnings issued. That, guys, that was the Lake City tornado that we had. Arkansas, we're talking about Kentucky, we're talking about Tennessee. We had tornadoes with 160-mile-an-hour winds. Guys, social media was buzzing with one of the greatest tornado videos of all time. Brandon Kopic took that. It was an unbelievable scene. That was the Lake City tornado, and we are expecting more to come. So for any of you freaks chasing this season, this is a reminder: respect the storm, because this spring is already rewriting the record books. Dina, over to you.
Hi, this is weather.com senior meteorologist Dina Knightley, and it's time for a tech twist on the Wicked Weather Report. With flooding hammering the central U.S., new weather tech is making waves. The National Weather Service rolled out enhanced flash flood emergency alerts this week, pinpointing life-threatening zones with crazy precision. With Arkansas and Memphis, where rivers hit major flood stage after 5 to 8 inches of rain. These alerts lean on real-time radar and river gauge data, giving chasers and locals a heads up when waters rise fast. Meanwhile, companies like the Weather Channel are touting their latest radar upgrades, claiming top accuracy creds from Forecast Watch. For storm chasers, this means better tools to track those sneaky flood producing while dodging washed out roads. Techs keeping us up ahead of Mother Nature, well, most of the time. Serena?
Awesome. I'm meteorologist and author Serena Arnold, and last up on Wicked Weather here. Storm chasing gear got a wild workout with Winter Storm Nyla this week. So while the South drowned, Nyla blasted the northern plains and upper Midwest with blizzard conditions, 65-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-mile visibility, over a foot of snow from the Dakotas to Minnesota. Chasers braved icy roads and drifting snow, testing drones and anemometers, thermal cameras in literally sub-zero wind chills. Reports say some rigs held strong, but a few drones may have bitten the dust in the whiteout conditions. Meanwhile, northern New England, hi, it's me, is gearing up for more snow today. So if you're winter chasing, pack those anti-slip boots and heated lenses. Nyla's a curveball for spring, proving you need a versatile kit when Mother Nature flips the script. So gear up, freaks. The season's throwing everything at us. And Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays forecast says the action is far from over.
Awesome. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, everybody. Hey, we've kept our guests waiting long enough. Serena, why don't you introduce everybody for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have two awesome guests here with us tonight. First, we have Trey Greenwood. Trey has been chasing storms since 2011 and leading storm chasing tours since 2022. He has a master's degree in meteorology from the University of Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. And in 2019, he began posting educational videos to the Convective Chronicles YouTube channel, where his severe weather breakdowns and forecast discussions now amass hundreds of thousands of views each month. So that's awesome. Welcome, Trey.
Thank you, guys.
We also have Gabriel Harber, who's joining us tonight. He's been the creator and co-host of the Chaser Chat podcast since 2020. Guests on the podcast include names like Reed Timmer, Skip Talbot, Ryan Hall, all the big names. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for joining us today.
Absolutely. And you left one name off, Phil Johnson. He's been on the show before.
Right? I mean, talk about the best of the best here.
Wow.
So Trey, Gabriel, this is awesome. We can't wait to talk to you about what has just recently been released here. Before we do, Trey, why don't you give us a few words about how you met, Gabriel, decided to do this together, and then Gabriel, your perspective on it as well.
Yeah, so I can't remember exactly when it was, but Gabriel reached out to me to do an interview on Chaser Chat. And ever since then, we've been just kind of in contact with each other. And I had kind of had this idea for Storm Chaser coaching in some fashion for a while. I don't know if you guys remember from last time, but I play poker and I subscribe to a poker training site. And I thought it'd be cool if there was something like this for storm chasing, because there's a lot of information out there on storm chasing and a lot of different places. There's not really one good one-stop shop for all good weather information that's really geared toward storm chasing and severe weather forecasting. So I had this idea for a while, and then Gabriel approached me and said, with kind of the same idea, and I said, yeah, I'm in.
That's awesome. All right, Gabriel, what's to give us a few words of your perspective? Like, no, he's totally a liar. That's not how it went. Or does that sound about right?
Every single word out of his mouth was wrong. Let me give you guys the real story. No, so he pretty much nailed it. I started Chaser Chat back in 2020 because the pandemic had me basically sitting at home doing nothing, like a lot of folks. And I'd always been passionate about weather, specifically severe weather and storm chasing. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. I started asking people questions on Twitter, trying to find who the smart folks were. And since I have a background in podcasting, I was like, well, the easiest way for me to ask all my questions while pretending I'm doing interviews and stuff like that is if I just start a podcast and bring people on, then they have to answer my questions while I'm recording with them. So Trey was one of the people I reached out to because, of course, he's one of the smartest folks that I found on Twitter, offering up severe weather education. And after that, it was really just a friendship that started to blossom. I'm also a poker player. I subscribe to a poker training website, so we have that in common. And we just stayed in close contact for a couple of years after he did his first interview with me. We did a few other bits on the podcast, and one thing led to another. And about 6-7 months ago, we decided we were going to start this project together.
Who's the better poker player? Who's the better poker player? Got to know.
He's humble, so he wouldn't say it, but it's definitely Trey. He's further along in his poker journey than I am.
I don't know about that.
That's awesome. Well, hey, so for all the viewers listening, why don't you, Trey, I'll have you start. Why don't you go ahead and give a summary of what it is that you guys have just launched this week?
Yeah, so we just launched on Monday, Stormchaser Coaching, and it's basically just a training site for people who are either just getting into storm chasing and want to learn more about how to get into storm chasing and do it safely and effectively, or even veteran chasers who have been doing it for years but just want to improve their skills on severe weather forecasting and storm chasing. So basically, we have our main flagship product is the CHASER Academy, which houses an intro course called Storm Chasing 101. Kind of gets people primed who maybe are new at chasing to just get the absolute foundational stuff that you would need to really get out there for your first few times and just be safe while you're chasing. And then we have our main, we're going to be doing in-depth training modules as well. So for example, we just launched one called Radar for Storm Chasing. That was my module for our launch. And it's about as in-depth as you can get on specific topics. We're doing a weather models module. Next month, we have many other modules in the future on soundings, all that kind of stuff has to do with severe weather forecasting. And then we also have Q&A sessions that are members only. They can ask questions about those modules. And then we also have a unique type of content called Chase and Explain content, which is where our coaches actually go out in the field, document their chase, and go through their thought process with you while they're actually chasing, which is pretty unique. So it's a lot of stuff in one, and it's hopefully a lot of value for folks who want to subscribe.
So Trey, is it an all subscription type of thing, or is some of it you can watch for free? Is there like levels?
Yeah, so we do have free resources. We have a big part of Storm Chaser coaching is our free Storm Chaser coaching community, which is open to anybody who wants to, talk storm chasing, share forecasts, share photos, talk about their chase gear, whatever under the sun with storm chasing. And we're almost up to 1,200 members in that group just alone. So, and people are in there asking questions, and all the coaches are in there answering those questions. And so that's a really nice community for folks who just want to talk chasing with like-minded people. And we also have stuff like our ebooks. We have a couple of ebooks out, our Dixie Alley storm chasing ebooks, some actionable tips for folks who want to chase in the Southeast. And then we also have just our 8 rules for storm chasing safely ebook, just base level stuff, tips that I've gleaned over the years from chasing that can help folks who are just getting into chasing as well. We also have a YouTube channel, Storm Chaser Coaching, and we also have a podcast as well.
So you have you have the YouTube, the podcast, and then all your modules and stuff. Like, where do you find that? Is it just online?
Yeah. So the free stuff, you can find everything at stormchasercoaching.com. Obviously we're on YouTube there as well. We have a Twitter feed at Tornado Coaching. And then you can access our modules as well. Our Chaser Academy, you can sign up for the Chaser Academy over on stormchasercoaching.com as well. But everything is going to be housed in that stormchasercoaching.com webpage.
So Trey, walk me through it. So, excuse me. I am, first of all, who's your target audience? Is it someone who's literally doesn't know anything about weather to up to okay, I've storm chased tens of times, hundreds of times maybe before, and I'm just kind of learning to look a little bit more. How wide is your net? Do you start at okay, I basically know nothing about weather, or is it more like, okay, I kind of know some weather terms, but I need some help to be able to actually start chasing for the first time?
So it's really for all of those folks. Like I said, we have that introductory product that will help folks, and all of our free products as well, the ebooks and the podcast and the YouTube channel. That is going to be helpful for the folks who maybe are just getting into chasing for the first time and want to learn a little bit more about just some of the foundational stuff to get into chasing. And then the hope is that they can, start going into the modules as well. Those modules, like I said, are going to be in-depth modules, but all of our coaches, including myself, have made sure that the modules are going to be understandable, even if you don't have a meteorology degree, even if you haven't seen a lot of meteorology stuff before. We've tried to tailor the modules so that folks who don't have a lot of experience with meteorology will be able to get a lot of value out of the modules. Now, it might take a few times listening and going through the modules to do so, but everybody should be able to access the modules and get something out of it. And also, we're going to have our Q&A sessions as well, so folks can actually ask questions, and we'll be going through that in a video after the modules are released to help in that regard. So really, it's everybody, and even veteran chasers. Like I said, our first module is radar for storm chasing. That you know, if you're a veteran chaser, you might think that we already know a lot about radar, but I think there's going to be lots of stuff that even veteran chasers can glean from these modules. Stuff, intricate stuff like, how to look for signs of tornado genesis on radar. Some tools that maybe chasers use now that maybe they shouldn't be using, or tools that they should use in lieu of tools they're using now. So it's really for everybody.
Yeah, it's really cool. You guys were nice enough to give us, I know, some access to it before. And so I was going through and I was looking at Chaser Academy, which was cool. I mean, being able to see the videos like you talked about, understanding how to read radar and all the different aspects of things there too. It was really cool. One of the things I thought that was most interesting and kind of caught me off guard was the actual community form of it, how there was almost like a news feed that people could post things. So Gabriel, talk to me a little bit about why you guys decided to include that and the importance of that.
Absolutely. Great question. So one of the things that we both love about this project is the power of the membership, because a lot of times when you're checking out content on a YouTube channel or a website, if it's an article or something like that, or a podcast episode that's educational, it's great and you get a lot from it, but it's really hard to follow up and continue your education. The comment section on YouTube or on Spotify, just not a great place to have a discussion so that people can actually continue on in their journey. And a lot of times what ends up happening is you watch a YouTube video over here, you listen to a podcast over there, you read an article over here, and then you're the one that's left to actually piece all of that stuff together to try to figure out how to synthesize it into a coherent whole. And the power of memberships is that you're committing to us by joining the Chaser Academy or the free community, but our coaches are also committing to you, that they're going to stay there with you from start to finish, wherever you are in your journey. Like Trey said, if you're starting off, if you're a veteran storm chaser, there's something for everybody. But the important thing is we're going to be there with you every step of the way. They're going to make sure that your questions are answered. The Chase and Explain content that Trey was talking about, what's so cool about that is all the things that you're learning in the training modules, the Q&A sessions, the free resources, then you get to see that actually out in the field, put into practice by our coaches. And I think that really takes everything to another level, because it's one thing to actually get information, to just have all of the resources at your fingertips. It's another thing to know how to apply those in the heat of the moment. And that's where I think the community and all of the things that we offer in the Chaser Academy really shine through.
That's quite exciting. That's really exciting, you guys, because I've been like a meteorologist for a long, long time. But I've always been either in a studio or a weather lab. And then it's a different beast when you're out in the field. Oh, yeah. And I think the biggest thing I've learned over the last couple of years with chasing with this group is that what you see on radar or satellite, when you're trying to look at it from the ground and you're looking at the shape of the supercell or the way things are moving, like it's a different way to look at it. And I mean, for me to get more veteran chasers to say that's what you're looking at right here, that is a big deal. And where, okay, so if you see this like horseshoe shape, your tornado is going to be probably here, so that is something that you can only either get from experience or from somebody who's had the experience. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited about the Chase and Explain content. I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart from other educational entities is the Chase and Explain stuff. It's very hard to find content because meteorology is a very complex subject, as you all know. Mm-hmm. And it's, like you said, it's one thing to know that this is a hook echo, and on radar, this is a correlation coefficient debris signature. But it's another thing to actually look at a storm and say, oh yeah, that's where the hook echo is. That's where the rear flank downdraft of the supercell is. I'm looking at this storm on radar. We're positioning here because we're looking at this feature. So it's a whole nother level to actually add coaches that are out in the field, actually acting on the lessons that we're giving in the modules and showing you how to actually apply those into the field. So I think that's one of the things that I'm really excited about is the chase and explain content that we have.
Well, and I got to say this, the coaching aspect, I love that. But then you added something you could say, sometimes we kind of missed it. And so we're going to let you know how we met. I don't want to say how we messed up, but basically why things didn't pan out like we thought it would, right?
Mhm.
Right. That's part of it. And that's stuff we talk about in the free community as well. Of course, we just had the big high risk event, the April 2nd event out in the Mississippi Valley, which caught a lot of people off guard a little bit, I think, as far as the forecast went. And there's been discussion in our community about that. And we're always transparent. Every meteorologist has had a bust forecast in their time. And that's what meteorology is. Meteorology is, like I said, such a complex subject. And you can try to boil it down as much as you can, but you're gonna get it wrong sometimes, and it's okay to be wrong. Those are the opportunities that we see as learning experiences. One of our mottos with Stormchaser coaching is there are no busts. Every busted forecast, every busted chase, you can learn something from. And so we're going to have some bust cases in our chase and explain videos, so folks can see, hey, we did this, but it didn't quite work out, and why was that the case? And then we'll go into afterward kind of debriefing. Why did things evolve the way they evolved? Why did we maybe pick the wrong storm or and such and so forth? So yeah, you're exactly right.
Let me ask one question about that too. You were just talking about like which storm you picked, and I just recently did. I think it was the Girls Who Chase seminar, the spring training one. The one thing I found that was so good is they had like some radar images that they had stored, and they had like the surface maps and everything to look at. So if you were looking at it that day, and what happened was it was in the Panhandle, and there was 2 different clusters of storms, one to the north, one to the south, and they said, okay, you guys, here's the data. Which one would you pick? We all picked different ones. It was probably like 50-50. And then we kind of went through as time went on during the day, and we're like, all right, would you still go to that one, or will you still try to like haul your ass up to the other one and get there? And then finally we showed what actually happened, and I was like, whoa, did we get lucky, or did we just forecast good, or did we bomb it? That I thought was great. If you guys can do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think the chase and explains are. It's exactly that, but actually in the field, and a coach is going to actually do that in real time. And so, yeah, and you're actually going to see the results of that in real time. There's all this new research on storm interactions. People like Cameron Nixon are doing all this research on storm interactions, and there's all this new research coming out that we plan on doing content on in the future. But those chase and explains are so valuable for that, where you can actually see a coach pick a storm in maybe a cluster of storms, and you kind of get to ride along and see if it's the right one. That's another great thing about the chase and explains is it's very educational because we're giving tips along the way, but it's also somewhat of an entertainment piece. So it's not quite as in the weeds, so to say, as the in-depth modules, but it's kind of a little bit of a mix of entertainment and educational stuff. And so folks who maybe are kind of worn out by the education or the educational modules can watch a chase and explain, sit back and relax, and take some notes here and there, but ride along on an actual chase with a coach, which is really cool.
And one other thing to mention along that same line of thought is there are forecast challenges for people who join the free community. Those are going to be a regular ongoing feature, and it gives you an opportunity to actually take some of your knowledge and apply it. Trey does an amazing job at those, putting all the upper air maps and everything. He writes a pretty lengthy post giving the exact parameters for the setup, and then he comes back a week later with a video review so that people can actually match up what their forecast is with what actually happened on that day.
That's fantastic.
That'd be so fun, like especially in the off season, right? When we all have SDS and are dying to get back out there, like that could be really fun to do.
Yeah, that's
and that actually.
Go ahead.
And that actually piggybacks off my question of, and maybe Trey can go first, and then maybe Gabriel after. But with all of the, the different games that are out there now, right? Like Outbreak and like Twisted, it's been rare where we actually can get in a virtual situation where there's no stakes. You know, if you crash your car in a tornado and die, whatever, you lose your money. I always do that, by the way. Have you guys thought about like possibly saying, hey, let's do an interactive where, like, okay, we're going to get you in the car, we're going to put you at the driver's seat, and then you're going to tell us where you think we should go based upon the parameters. Is that something you guys have thought about?
So I'll take this one, actually. Brady, you must be in my head, because that's actually something that I haven't even talked to Trey and our other management team about yet. But I was thinking
I'm
that
so
if
sorry,
we decide
Gabriel, to
do
hear that.
I was thinking that in the future, if we do any sort of streaming, it's going to be a little bit different than some of the streaming that you see out there now, where people just have the dash cam set up. We're really going to try to turn it into a complete educational experience where the coaches aren't just driving to the setup and maybe chit-chatting with the folks in chat along the way, but they're actually stopping to point out features. There may be turning the webcam so that they can look at the computer screen and see what they're seeing, explaining the decisions that they're making and why they're making it. So it's absolutely something that I think we want to do in the future.
Yeah, and those forecast challenges are good like that too for the forecasting side. Like it's a past case where tornadoes happen, and so you can go through your thoughts and you can feel free to miss it with no stakes, no pressure attached. Mm-hmm. So that's what's nice about the forecast challenges, especially like you said in the off season. It's really good to just keep honing your skills in the off season, which is why we do frequent forecast challenges, just going back through and doing those old cases, blocking out the dates and seeing if people can, hone their skills with that. But that's a really good idea. I know I'm not much of the video game type personally, but I've seen those. They've got some great graphics and stuff, and that would be really cool to integrate.
Yeah, the great thing is when you crash your car, which I'm going to do, you don't die, right? And the person with you
because Brady's in our car.
I was going to say, there's a reason I'm the driver.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
Serena's the driver.
Well, we're getting ready to take a break, but I want to ask one more quick question before we go. I love the idea of forecast challenges. At Nebraska back in the 1900s when I was there, that was so much fun. Now, since you guys are gamblers, do you foresee yourselves adding something where there's a monetary prize?
Ooh, ching-ching.
Man, I don't know about that. Trey, we're going to have to talk off camera about this one.
Yeah, we might have to have some discussions in private.
You could see the wheel. They like it.
Yeah.
You could see by their facial expressions. They like it. They like it.
The wheels
I
are
could
turning.
tell they want to talk on the break. So we're going to take a quick break. All right? And then we're going to be right back with more from Trey and Gabriel and Nathan.
In a world where tornadoes and hurricanes and blizzards run rampant, destroying everything in their path, one man and one team of freaks stands in their way, covering it all on one show.
We have a confirmed tornado
From afar and from up close. That man is Stormcat 5. That team is the Stormfront Freaks. And that show, this show, is Outbreak. And Outbreak starts when tornadoes or hurricanes or blizzards strike. I'll be here, tracking it all. One team with one goal, to keep you safe when it matters most. Come join us next time on Outbreak. All right, guys, and that is the commercial, and it is time for a quick Outbreak update. Now, what is Outbreak? Outbreak, I'm Stormcat 5, by the way, meteorologist Stormcat 5. I go live whenever there's severe weather. So we're not live right now because there's really not a tornado threat, but just wanted to give you a quick forecast. We do have some active severe thunderstorms that are going through Atlanta and the Deep South. These are going to be primarily wind and hail. So the tornado threat tonight on Thursday, April 10th, is going to be minimal. Now, what do we have coming up, right? Because this is what everyone wants to know. Is this active severe weather stretch going to continue? And the answer is no, at least in the short term. Let's show you Friday, really not a lot of severe weather expected. Let's show you Saturday here, basically no severe weather expected. And this is the reason why. I'm going to show you guys right now the upper level pattern. You guys know if you watch my forecast videos over on YouTube, I like to pull the 500 millibar up to basically give us an idea of what will this look like, when will our severe weather come back. Now I'm going to pause it right here. This is on Saturday. You can see this feature right here. That is what they call the death ridge, and that is going to limit our severe weather as a lot of these disturbances are pushed off to the north. Watch as we go throughout the week, though, as we get into the second and third week of April. This is another cold blast that'll affect the Ohio Valley. Once again, I'm going to be freezing. I hate myself. I need to go to Florida right now. But watch as we go into the third week of April. You'll notice that we have a big pattern shift as we got a trough coming, ejecting off of the Rocky Mountains. That will be when our severe weather could pick up in a big way, and we could get some more severe weather, especially April 20th, 21st, 23rd, 24th, 25th. And here's why. Check this out. This is the CFS. This is like the supercell parameter right here. This gives you the brighter the red, the brighter the yellow. That basically tells you, okay, is there going to be supercells on the plains? And this is for April 17th through April 24th. That is a big time signal for severe weather. So once again, that third week of April, even into the fourth week of April, we also have a pretty big signal a little bit further to the west on the plains. So I think the plains are about to wake up in a major way just in time for the heart of the severe weather season. We also have temperatures. People are wanting to know, is it going to get warmer finally in the eastern United States? The answer is no in the short term. We're going to have more cold, and the west, once again, bacon. They are going to be loving it out there in the west as the temperatures skyrocket over the next 6 to 7 days, 8 to 14 days. Finally, some relief for those in the Ohio Valley who've been way cold, but the plains, once again, is going to be much warmer. Stay tuned to my next forecast to see what this is all going to be about. Let's kick it over to MJ. MJ, you're up.
Mesoscaleforecast.com brings us StormNet, a state-of-the-art deep learning model designed to revolutionize severe weather forecasting. The innovative tool is tailored to provide unparalleled real-time predictions of severe weather events, including probability of wind, hail, and tornadoes. And now they've added Hurricane Vision, a cutting-edge hurricane track and intensity prediction system that uses deep artificial intelligence to predict the track and future intensity of tropical cyclones. You've seen us use it on our Storm Front Freaks live outbreak coverage with meteorologist Stormcat 5. Now you can use it as well. Visit Mesoscaleforecast.com and access live data subscriptions. Plus, when you enter the code Stormfront, you'll receive a 10% discount for life. Yes, for life. Go to Mesoscaleforecast.com.
Step into the storm with VirtuWeather software. Experience lifelike virtual weather through awe-inspiring visualizations and real-time, physics-driven simulations. Whether you're a streamer or a broadcaster, captivate your audience with an impossibly immersive experience of live weather like never before. The future of weather visualization is here. See it on Stormfront Freaks Outbreak storm coverage this season.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's
Before
all
I get
go
hungry.
to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get
I have no
ourselves a
food.
treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn
popcorn.
can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate
Candy.
bars and the candy. So let's all go to the
Nuggies.
lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to
On
the
a diet, MJ.
lobby
WTF.
to get ourselves a treat.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Everybody knows Brady's hungry by now. So just,
And I swear, MJ puts that every time on purpose. He just wants me to break my diet. I'm not breaking, MJ. I'm not breaking.
dude, have a Snickers bar before
No.
this.
Yeah, he's a
Would you-
little hangry.
Yeah, you said that he was.
Anyway, hey, we are back now with the guys Trey and Gabriel. And so I want to ask you a quick question. The National Weather Service does a great job with their spotter training. But I'll tell you, unless they have a virtual day, a lot of those book up pretty quickly. Do you guys ever foresee your group to actually be able to do something along those lines, or maybe even be an enhancement to that? Gabriel, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I actually, now that you mention it, think that the National Weather Service should probably reach out to us at some point in the future because we could design it a whole lot better than what they have going on now. I know Trey would absolutely be able to make the virtual side of things awesome. So we hadn't thought about that, but sounds like a good idea, all jokes aside.
Yeah, and we are planning on doing some storm spotting content, specifically as it pertains to supercells. So your rear flank downdraft, your clear slot, all those terms you hear, the wall cloud, shelf cloud, and whatnot. We do have some plans to do some content on actual storm spotting stuff as it pertains to storm chasing in the future.
That's a really good question. It actually brings me to one of the things that I wanted to bring up. With the current governmental administration changes happening and seeing reductions in what's going on with NOAA, talk a little bit about the importance of storm spotters and the role that storm spotters and storm chasers have, and how this could be really helpful during kind of an unusual time in our meteorological history.
Yeah, storm spotters have always been critical to the warning process, and now even more so as offices are understaffed, and we have all those gaps in the observations with less weather balloons and whatnot. So actually having eyes on a storm is so critical for those offices. And so that's why another reason that motivates us is to have good chasers out there who are chasing safely and effectively, and who know what they're looking at and are able to report quality reports to the Weather Service so that we can tighten up that warning process and help them out as much as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I think resources like that are stupid important right now.
Absolutely.
So we've got some VIPs here waiting in the wings. I know Angela's been chomping at the bit. I've got 73 questions, so maybe limit it to one or two, Angela. But what's your question?
It's mainly just one. When you're a new chaser, you always hear, you want to go out with somebody experienced. Do you ever see you guys facilitating those relationships in the future, of trying to get people and kind of matching them up with personalities that you think they would be good with and send out?
So that's a really good question as well. And I don't want to announce anything official, but I will say join the free community. That is where announcements will be made. And there are definitely storm chasing tours out there that already exist. So infer from that what you will, and just keep an eye on the free community.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Although I do think that whole free community is going to be a great community, because even being on some live events where chasers get together, we start telling each other what our X handle is or our Facebook page, and all of a sudden I've got like 20 more people on there, and I'm getting to know them a little bit better. So if I wanted to go out with them, I have a little bit of a connection. I'm not going cold technically. I could kind of look at their feet a little bit if I wanted to. So that would be kind of a nice hookup.
Yeah, and that's actually something we offer in the free community. There's a member directory that people can check out. You can search by people's names, and then you can actually look at their posting history. And that's a great point, Dina. Are they somebody who is a valuable contributor? Is it somebody who, like I enjoy doing from time to time, trolling around and instead of actually offering anything that's of value? And you can certainly make your decisions based off of that. So the member directory is a really cool resource for people.
Fabulous.
So real quick, what kind of deals? I mean, do you have some deals now, or are you foreseeing something in the future?
We do have a deal right now for everybody who is listening. If you go to stormchasercoaching.com and sign up for the Chaser Academy, when you're in the checkout website area, go ahead and enter promo code FREAKS, and you're going to get 50% off of your first month. And we're going to keep that turned on indefinitely. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, or if you're listening to it 5 years from now, that is going to be good for you. So promo code FREAKS, make sure you hit the apply button to apply the discount, and 50% off your first month.
So Gabriel,
I love
did you
promo
say
codes.
15% or 50%?
Good question. 50%.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Dina sounds like Brady when he sees lightning. This is
Love
amazing.
Yes.
promo codes.
That's
I
massive.
don't buy anything without a promo code.
No kidding.
I
Do
don't.
I.
That's awesome. That's super generous of you guys and
Yeah,
really
that's
awesome.
great. And it's gonna just start the ball rolling even faster.
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
One final question. This is going to be kind of out there, but so some YouTube chats, like they'll do if you do donations. Like for example, when we went storm chasing, the chat donated and was like, "Hey, buy this thing." Is there ever a plan to be like, "Hey, while you're storm chasing, while you're doing that kind of in or out of class, someone donates and says turn left or turn right? Will you do it, or like will you let the chat chase for you? That's the question.
Oh.
That sounds like a really fun idea to implement, and we might talk about that. But there is actually something kind of similar. We've had some people who have reached out and very generously donated the cost of a subscription for an entire year. We've actually had a few folks that already did that, asking if we could sponsor somebody who doesn't have the means but actually is interested in storm chasing. And so we internally decided that it would be a good idea if we did that for students in particular. So coming up here very soon, we're actually going to be giving away an entire year's worth of subscription to students if they follow along on Twitter and the community. We'll announce it in both places.
Oh, that's so nice.
Dang, that's awesome.
So we've given you a lot of ideas. Are we getting any kind of a kickback on this ourselves here?
Actually, you'll get 50% off right now if you sign up using promo code Freaks.
Love it.
So
Yes.
Love it.
Although I'll just be honest, as someone who's seen a lot of chats, be careful with that. The chat can be a little unhinged from time to time. So
I would love to
they'll
send
be telling
Trey
you to
into a
drive
tornado.
and do like yeah, exactly. That's what they'll do.
Awesome. Hey, well, I think I hear some thunder and lightning. I don't know about you guys. There it is. I know it. All right, so we're going to move on to a different segment here. Time now for our lightning round. It's a game show of flashy and brilliant questions for our guests. It's flashy and brilliant because Phil wrote that. I'm just want you to know.
Yep.
So we're going to invite everyone to play along with us in the chat. And tonight we're playing Legendary Coaches Storming Through History. All right, this is where the flashy and brilliant questions begin, just to let you know, in case you can't tell, right? So we're gonna play a little game here. I think it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna give you each a question first. We'll start with Trey, all right? And you're either gonna get it right, and you'll hear a sound like this if you get it right. Yes. And if you don't get it right, you hear something like this.
Whoa!
Yeah, you don't want to hear that sound. Don't hear that sound.
Not good.
All right, so Trey, we're going to start with you for tonight.
And there we go. That's all right. I was blocked by the icon. I was blocked by the icon. We're good.
I thought it was a fur ball. I was like, what was that sound? Anyway. All right, so Trey, which legendary football coach led the Green Bay Packers to the first 2 Super Bowl wins?
Ooh.
I'm not a football guy. That's the problem. Is it what's his name? The trophy's named after him, isn't it? It's
There is.
Oh man, I'm gonna look bad.
If you're Italian, you might say
Lombardi. Vince Lombardi. That's right.
Did you get it?
That's right.
That was a good clue, Maz.
Yep, his playbook was tougher than a Category 5. All right, Gabriel, your turn. Now we're going to talk basketball. This basketball coach won 10 NCAA titles with UCLA in the 1960s and 70s. Who are we talking about?
Who is John Wooden?
Yes!
Wow.
Wow. I'm impressed. The Wizard of Westwood could coach through a haboob. I love that. Let's see. All right, Trey, this is a true or false, all right?
Okay.
Coach Phil Jackson won more NBA titles than there are EF scale tornado ratings. True or false?
That is true.
Yes.
Wow.
That's 11 titles. And that
11.
beats the 6 EF scale levels. No
Dang.
contest, hands down. Good job. All right, you guys are hot on this.
Yeah, you
All right,
guys.
Gabriel. Which fiery football coach famously said, "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing"?
Oh, man. I have no idea. I'm just going to go Mike Ditka.
Oh, man.
Trey, you think you know this one?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm going to go back to my cousin. My cousin who?
My cousin Vinny.
Vince Lombardi. Vinny Lombardi.
Cousin
There you
Vinny.
go.
Wow.
All right, so
Right,
Trey,
no.
this one's for you.
Okay.
Name the coach who turned the U.S. hockey team into Miracle on Ice gold medalists back in 1980.
And they did a
I don't.
documentary
It's
on
Kurt
it,
Russell.
too.
It is Kurt Russell,
Kurt
but that's
Russell.
yeah.
I
Who
love
did
the
he
movie.
play?
I can't remember the name.
He gets a half
I
a point
remember
for
the
that.
name. Yeah, give me a little.
Okay, so there was a show called WKRP in Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy's first last name was Tarlick. What's his first name? Herb Tarlick. Okay, am I just like really old and nobody knows?
I don't even
any
know
of this?
that one.
I didn't even know Tarlick was a real name.
Yeah, Herb Tarlick. All right. Anyway, it was Herb Brooks. He coached through the Storm.
Herb
That's
Brooks.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, Gabriel.
movie?
This modern NFL coach has the most Super Bowl wins, 6 with the Patriots. Who is it?
Oh, that's Bill Belichick.
That's right, BB. Nice.
Oh.
Yep. His
With
hoodie's
no
ready
sleeves.
for any storm chase. The best. All right, Trey. Which iconic college football coach has a stadium named after him in Bama?
Oh man. I know.
Lions,
I'm gonna know what when you say it too.
Lions, Tigers, and
Bear O'Brien.
hey, there you go. A little help on that one.
That
right?
was good. I was the
Yeah.
one I was thinking of.
I need more
Yeah.
basketball questions. I'm a basketball guy. That's
All right, we'll go to
where I
Gabriel.
shine.
Gabriel, this is your last one, Gabriel. Here we go. Finish this coaching quote from soccer's Sir Alex Ferguson. I've never played for a draw.
Yeah, I have no idea. Soccer's for Europeans. Why are you asking me this for?
Yeah, I don't know this one either. I've never played for a draw. Anybody?
Oh.
In my life, I've never played for a draw in my life. I know that was a hard. Yeah, thank you. I got that one right. I have it.
Good job. Very well.
Very good.
All right, some of those were easy. Some of those were really darn hard. You know. Hey, so before we take a break here, tell us how we can find you guys. Trey, how can we find you?
So you can find me all over socials at Convective Chronicles, Twitter at Conv Chronicles, YouTube channel Convective Chronicles. Yeah, anywhere Convective Chronicles. That's where I am.
Awesome. Gabriel, how about you?
You can check out Chaser Chat either in whatever podcast app you use. On Twitter, you can search for Chaser Chat. I'm at Crazy Gaby on Twitter. And then, of course, stormchasercoaching.com.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Thanks, guys. We hope you stick around after the break, and we'll be right back.
The Stormfront Freaks is now available on the Weather Store. Come shop our catalog of shirts, hats, and hoodies, all with our Stormfront Freaks logo and Outbreak logo. Plus, you'll find all your other favorite weather geek and storm chasing gear, footwear, and accessories. Visit the Weather Store at thewxstore.com, the exclusive supplier of the Stormfront Freaks.
Hey, this is meteorologist Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel. I am a weather geek, and I am listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. You should too.
Let's take a drive under the moon. Let's take a drive under the somber sky. Let's take a drive under the moon.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, we love weather fools. They're the best time to the show. We get to make fun of people when you do stupid stuff, and we catch you on our phones. And I think just Serena and I have a couple weather fools, so I'll let Serena go first.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could do that. I think I've got two. The one's not a weather fool. So let's see what we've got. Okay. That one you just have to start over again if possible. So sorry. Because it's these guys running in and just missing the bouncy house.
It's always the bouncy house or the trampoline.
It's always the bouncy house. Now there's a whole collection of like craziness here, and the whole thing is good. But I'm not gonna lie. I shared this video simply for the near miss of that bouncy house. Look how fast that thing flies by. Goodness gracious, I thought that was wild. So secure those things down, people. Pay attention to the forecast. Please don't do that. Please. And the second one, this is just cool.
Oh my God, it's like flushing a natural toilet.
An underwater
Look
vortex.
at that tornado.
Like, can we just all have a moment of serenity? And I mean, I just thought it was cool. I don't know how this happens. I don't know where it is. I don't know how it occurs. I don't care. Just seeing this underwater vortex spinning around, I just thought was one of the coolest things in the entire world. So no weather fools. It's a totally enjoy this moment thing.
Trey, we need a YouTube video on that. We need a YouTube video on that, Trey, to explain why this is happening. What is going on?
Really cool.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I love watching those.
Yeah.
There is a weather fool. I saw a worm who was like, "Oh, what's this?" and got sucked down into it. And I'm like, "There you go."
There you go.
See where it goes.
There's the weather fool. Perfect. So those are my two, Dina. Thank you.
All right. I've got two. Now, this one was funny because you can kind of watch it for a while, but it's in the snow and it says, when you and your BFF return home after one drink. But, you know, it's already hard to walk when you're kind of drunk. But these two, like, are so drunk, they're falling down. They couldn't get the gate open. So they try to crawl over the gate and get stuck. Like, this guy looks like he is in a complete split. And, you know, like, then his buddy comes in and he pushes the door up. And this is the funny part. He just hangs there. He's like, dude, I'm good. I'm going to lay here for a second.
Dead.
Oh, my God. It was so funny. At least they were guys and they weren't in a skirt trying to do this. But I just thought that was so funny because especially at the end where he's just hanging there and he's like, I could probably just lay here for a second. I'm going to take a little nap. So I thought it was funny. I loved it. And I don't know if the second one, here's the second one. So this guy is ice. He slides. I mean, he barely touches the car, but then he goes down again. He gets out. I'm like, you know it's icy. Let's not go up hills. It's just, you know, I guess people sometimes think like, you know, it's not
a hell of a parallel park job though, right? Hell of a parallel park job.
How he didn't break his arm or his wrist going down on that ice too.
Yeah, I agree though, Brady. That was like a very sweet parallel parking job.
Yeah. It's fun to watch some of those. But if you guys want to go back and watch these, you can watch them back on the stormfrontfreaks.com episode 233 show notes.
Sweet.
All right, MJ, we got some Freak Fan Box going on.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby,
We do, and if and Phil puts me on for this, and then I have to get myself into the show and play the video and get to all the. But we're happy to have some fan mail, and thank you everybody for chiming in. Matt, of course, Matt aka Fuzzy on Twitter says, "Great episode as always. Having at Max Velocity WX on the show was awesome. Max and Ryan are two of the greatest channels for severe weather coverage, next to at Stormcat 5 and Reed." Thank you.
Oh, sweet.
Thanks, Fuzzy.
We love you, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's now a mod too, by the way. Mod Fuzzy. So a lot of props to you, Fuzzy.
Nice.
Great to have him around. Elena Cooper on Twitter says, "Yes, tonight's show was so awesome. I had to listen while I worked, but it was still a blast as always."
Good.
Aw, thank you.
And
nice.
Yep, thank you. And then we have a couple of Apple Podcast posts. One from He Life in a Hole. That's, I love that. I love that handle. He Life in a Hole. And he says, "I love this podcast." That's
Good.
it. But
thanks.
We love you, He. We love you,
appreciate
He. God bless you.
We love your name, too.
and then Nice on Apple Podcasts. So they've been around forever if they got that handle Nice, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
They say learned about it from Reed Timmer's hat. Nice, neat podcast.
Oh, he does wear our hats. He's pretty cool.
He does.
Yeah,
I know.
he does.
I love to see that. Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't one
And
of ours that blew off his head at the top of Mount Washington.
Yeah.
True, right?
This is bright orange one instead. Poor guy.
So we might read your comments on the next show. Just copy us on your Twitter X post, comment in Apple Podcast, or send us an email at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com. Back to you, Maz.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This night has flown by, you guys. That just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening, however you take in our content. Hey, do us a favor. If you like our show, smash the follow, subscribe button and help us get discovered, like Reed Timmer and his hat, by sharing this episode on your social media with your friends. Thanks to our guest here for tonight, Trey Greenwood and Gabriel Harber.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
That was awesome. Awesome. And now that you have all this extra ideas and content, you know what I'm saying. Remember your buddies. No, just kidding. Anyway. Hey, so freaks, we want to find out how people can follow you and find your content as well. So, Dina, how can we follow you?
I'm Lady Pilot 70 on Instagram, X, Blue Sky. So I'm the same for everything. Lady Pilot 70.
Awesome. Brady.
Yeah, you can find me at YouTube, Stormfront Freaks. We're now the Stormfront Freaks Network, so check us out on YouTube. We're coming out with more content than ever. And also you can check me out on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Stormcat5. I'm not on Facebook. I don't really do that. Maybe one day, not today. Check it out there, Stormcat5 with an underscore.
At Stormcat, you were like the hardest working guy, man. You were like 5 hours on the air sometimes. It's like you do have a job, right? You do have a job.
I know. We never know what he does for a job. Like
we went till 3 a.m. and I wasn't even able to do 2 of the days, but we streamed for like 31 hours and I was up till 4 a.m. one night. Yeah, it was crazy. Last week.
Oh my God.
All right. Serena, how can we find you?
Yeah, everything I'm at is at WXCYRENA. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So check me out there, and you can find both of my books, The Weather Story and The Hurricane Story, weather books for kids, on any of those places.
Buy them. Buy them. Buy all of them. Do
awesome books. And the best weather voice out there, just to let you. I love listening to your voice.
Aww.
Thank you, Maz.
Very cool. And I'm not even asking for a plug, just to let you know. Hey, so coming up on our next episode, if you've heard the pounding bam, 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 bam on your social media feed, then you know our next guest will be Local Man Weather with his 70s leisure suits from Team Dominator. We're going to be recording on Thursday, April 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. The live YouTube show will be available to our Patreon supporters. The audio podcast will be available that weekend on your podcast player. For those of you watching, stick around for our after show party. And for Dina, Serena, Stormcat, Angela, Trey, Gabriel, MJ, and myself, which, by the way, you can find me on, on X, Money Storm for you. That's Money Storm, the number 4, the letter U. That's how you find us. All right. We're going to signal we all clear, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Our bi-weekly show is available on your favorite audio podcast player and on YouTube, along with videos from Stormcat 5 at youtube.com/StormfrontFreaks. Patreon team members can watch the live recording session and access other great member benefits. For Patreon details, show notes, past shows, videos, merchandise, and more, visit our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. While you're there, check out our interactive radar from our friends at zoomradar.com. If you would like to contact us with questions or make comments about the show, shoot us an email to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com or follow us on X or Blue Sky. Search for Stormfront Freaks. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time and tell a friend about the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Hey, good
Woo.
show, everybody. Good show.
Yeah.
Well done,
That was
everyone.
awesome.
Well done.
Wow, we're actually out of here in record time.
I
must
was
have a
joking. That's because Phil didn't have
That's-
all his
that's an
weather
hour.
tools.
Dina
Yeah,
did say because
exactly.
Phil didn't bring 42 weather fools, and I'm like,
That's
oh
right.
my god, that's so accurate and amazing.
God bless him that he could find all those too. You know?
Oh my gosh, it's impressive.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
I know,
very
yeah.
impressive.
And we only
Hey,
did
Trey.
one. We only had the one segment. We didn't usually we do two, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Trey,
looking back
Gabriel,
to
you guys
the
were
list.
awesome. You guys
Thank
are
you guys
awesome.
for
Yeah,
having
good
us.
job.
Yeah,
filling
thank you
in,
guys for
man.
coming.
Really appreciate it. Yeah,
And
thank
thanks,
you.
guys. I can't wait to watch
Same.
more of your Chaser Academy. I'm
It was
excited
cool
about
checking
it.
him out today.
Yes.
I really
Yeah,
liked him. I was like,
I did
this is-
too.
it's like nice, high quality stuff, and
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, much
I-
appreciated there. Thank you.
Thank you.
I did the whole founding member thing, but I don't think I've gotten on it since.
Oh
you
no!
Join the free community. Come on in.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've missed you, Angela. You gotta hop in
Like
there.
I
Yeah.
signed up for it like 2 months ago, and then
Yeah.
I just get your daily emails.
We apologize for that, by the way. There will never be another marketing push like we did these last few weeks, just as we were launching the product. So if you needed to turn the emails off for a little bit, completely understand, but consider turning them back on.
Good. So
I'm
you
looking
actually,
forward to the radar one. I love radar, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
forward
thank
to
you guys.
watching it.
Radar's kind of the backbone of your tools when you're out chasing, so we figured that would be a good one to launch with, and so I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that one, and we've got some good ones
Bet.
coming up. Weather models next month from Kyle Gillette, so that's really excited for that one, and then lots
Yeah,
of
I like
stuff
that
in the
one.
pipeline. So
Then after
excited.
that, it's storm photography with Michael Binsky, and
Oh
then,
wow!
and then
You
we've
got
got
a
some
grade A for that one.
Yeah, and then we've got Aaron J. Jack doing some Chase and Explain content the following month. So
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
love
What about-
the interactive
what
pieces are really cool.
What about a PhD corner
Yeah,
for those
Are
that
you,
really want the high level?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that was not my strong suit when I was in grad school. The equations and stuff, not my
Well,
strong
yeah.
suit.
brother.
So we'd have to bring in some folks for that, but that's not a bad idea.
Cool.
No, nobody wants to see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's
That
there's
Kelly
still
Bluestein
some
classes.
residual madness going on in my
Like,
brain.
I'm out. Please,
my
no.
business brain was just thinking the quickest way to lose members is probably to throw differential equations in front of their face when they log into.
Yeah. You're
Yes.
like, click.
Yeah,
As a meteorologist,
Right.
if I saw that, I'd be like, I'm triggered and I'm out of there. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this.
agreed.
I
Agreed.
got through it. I don't want to go back.
Agreed.
Right.
Wow,
100%.
that is massive.
Wow, Brady's cloning himself over there.
Yeah, he is with his cats.
Wait, okay, no, okay. Can you guys hear that? By the way, I'm actually.
Oh, we can
Yeah.
hear it and see it, Brady.
yeah.
What the
Oh,
hell
yeah,
is
we
that?
heard it.
So that is like whenever someone just became a member. So whenever someone becomes a member, that appears like a little pop up appears on the right. That's
Oh,
actually
nice.
okay. So it works. It works. Okay,
Nice.
that's good. Yeah, I just learned how to do that.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Angela, is it me or are you in a padded cell? What the heck was that?
She's in her
I
truck.
am in a padded cell
a
that
truck.
I live in
Cam-
for like 2 weeks.
Your
out of
camera
it.
up.
Angela's a
Cat's there
badass.
too.
Oh, there's a cat.
Aw.
She's got her kitty.
Yes.
Wow. Is that yours or did you find it?
That was a Stormy.
She's had that cat for
Stormy.
a while.
That's Stormcat 562.
No, she's Stormy, the OG Stormcat.
Okay, she's like Stormcat like
Yeah.
4.
And I got
My lightning
got the
thing keeps
puppers.
going off too. I'm
puppers
surprised
too?
you guys didn't hear the thunder in my mic. It was so loud for a while, especially at the beginning of the podcast. I'm like,
You guys had some good storms roll through. I was looking.
Oh,
I've got
yeah.
a friend who lives in Canton. And
yeah,
she
that's
texted me.
very
She's like, there's 2-inch hail just south of us. I pulled up radar. I'm like, oh yeah, check that out.
yeah, we were in a
That's fun.
warning and a watch. At least thunder. I did get some lightning from my deck, but I'm like, oh, I got to get on the podcast, and then we're starting to read like what was it, the Wicked Weather or something, and I'm like, I hear boom, and I can actually feel it. I can feel it here. I'm like, whoa,
That's awesome.
it was
That's-
good.
I'm jealous. I want storms because it's going to snow again tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
And the next day.
I'm done.
And I
with
am-
that. Yeah.
The bad
I
thing
have
is
never-
we can't chase anything here. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
done. I'm
At least you're
done.
hearing
I'm-
thunder though. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
I
people
did see
over the
some
snow
lightning, but I
can't do
mean,
it.
I don't want to just sit in storms and traffic.
What do you guys think
Oh,
about the
Talladega.
first week of April? Has anyone looked at anything?
First week of May, you mean? First week of May.
Sorry.
May.
Yeah.
Well, we could get to like near Easter, and
We're
I
1
was
month
kinda
away,
like,
guys.
I was hoping like maybe it just slows down a little bit because there was like a trough like just south of Alaska, late April, and if that comes down, then we've got a nice pattern. But it's so far away, It's me, wish casting.
Yeah,
It looks
I know.
pretty good to me. The long range stuff. I don't put much stock
Yeah.
into it as well. But the teleconnections, that alphabet soup of teleconnections,
Yeah.
MJO and whatever.
Yeah.
It seems to be.
PNO,
I've
AO,
seen it
oh my
looks-
God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot. But it looks
I hope
like
it
we're going
doesn't
to have a
come too
nice
early.
active period.
Yeah, that's
So-
the only
It
thing
doesn't
I was
come
worried
too
about.
early. That's Go ahead.
Yeah.
So
May,
what
May
I
is
like
gonna May.
What I like about May this year is a lot of people think it's going to be quiet, and a lot of the forecasts have it being quiet, but I actually kind of like those years because expectations are low, and then you get a lot of these high plains days that can just go big, and you get some super photogenic stuff. So I kind of like the under the radar Mays a lot more than the super
I
active.
think the last two chase seasons we had, like kind of like a week or so out, did not look very impressive. Bye, Gabriel.
Bye, Gabriel.
See you guys.
Thanks
again.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you for
here.
being here.
Awesome job.
No, I mean we were lucky to get an enhanced risk. team.
Yeah.
I mean
There was
like,
because we were like, oh my God, do we have to move storm chase week? And I'm like, oh my God, for all of us to take vacations at certain times, it's hard to get those days off. And
So hard to move.
And then I'm like, come on. And then you could see like some lows coming up, but then, the models aren't showing any precip. So you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. You're like, whatever. If you're going to have a low there, you're going to have something. But looking at the 500 ensembles, even out as far as like 380 some hours, you're like, well, North America version looking up like maybe just come on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's
need
going to be
details
good.
so I can try to get a couple days off work.
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
liking
fun.
the fact that it's quiet now. The fact that it's super quiet right now, and like it's gonna flip, right? Weather's the ultimate evening out.
But it'll
so-
flip and probably flip again by the time we get out there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, maybe. But
I'm
May's
having
gonna
good luck
May.
for
May's-
historical outbreaks on my birthday, so
Nice. When's your
Okay.
birthday again, Angela?
May 24th.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the number one day.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
So
Now
many
watch
good,
something's
good
big.
events.
That's like my kids' graduation party. They're both graduating high school. I'll be like, yeah, can't go.
Hmm.
I can't give that up.
That's all right. I'm excited for the time that we're going out. And honestly, I'd rather go out for like an enhanced risk day on the
Yeah.
plains
Yeah.
and have some fun with it and chill and get some really good pictures than chase a high risk day in Dixie Alley. Like, no thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I just
Yeah,
don't
no
have
way.
any freaking patience for that. So I like the time we go and where we go. So I'm good with it.
And I want to see it. I don't want to just see it from a drone because I'm stuck behind some trees.
Right.
Dina, we're gonna see it. Okay, this is
I
the
mean
year.
it. We
This
are.
is a big year.
I'm
This is
positive.
gonna-
I'm being
We're
positive.
gonna
I'm
see
just
some monster tornado in a field. It'll be moving like 1 mile an hour, and we're gonna be right there. There it is.
and we don't have
There
to
it
move
is.
in 5 seconds. Like I just
No. Yeah.
let's move. Let's move down the street. Damn it, we just
Yeah, this is it. This is it. For sure.
State of Colorado.
Yeah.
So-
But
Wow,
Yeah.
that
I think
is
Eastern Third's
massive.
okay.
what? I don't know what
Is
Brady's
that-
doing again.
Hold on. How
You
loud is that,
remember?
by the way? I'm testing that out. How loud is that again?
Half your
I heard
volume.
it.
Wow, that is massive. Is it too loud or is it too quiet?
If you want people to hear it, it's too quiet.
Yeah.
Too quiet. Okay, let's jack it up a little further. Okay, wait, hold on. Check this one out. This one's for a super chat. Let's see if you can hear this one. Can you hear that?
I can hear
Is
it.
that how loud is that?
I have more
that re-
questions
is
than
that
the
really-
volume. What the hell,
Yeah.
Brady?
So when
70%.
someone sends a super chat, it'll play this, and then it'll play the text, whatever they send in text. It'll play that. So
Who the hell even
I don't know.
do that shit?
But you need a whole list of chunky cats.
Also, Trey,
Yeah, it could be louder. I mean,
Okay.
It could be.
It depends on how
rather
much
see
you
cats'
want it.
heads. There's no bellies in Pride. That's just oh my god. Oh, that is not good. That's the impression. Anyway, I learned how to use Stream Elements today, so
But
it's
Trey,
pretty fun.
you've kind of become my go-to weather-wise because you mix the smart stuff in layman's terms really well, and because of my job, I can't just have tunnel vision on weather. I need the overall picture.
Right.
You become my go-to for that.
Aww.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to make sure to always not dumb it down, but at least gives explanations that people can understand easily. Yeah.
Because Reed, he'll just start going off on his PhD stuff, and I'm just okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And then he'll also toss out the occasional nocturnal windbag, and you're like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yes, nocturnal windbag, gorilla hail. What are the other buzzwords?
Yeah, great. And then I get 4 million questions on my socials. What the hell's a nocturnal windbag? And I'm like, it's not in the AMS meteorological glossary. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Reedies.
Yeah.
We should make that some kind of lightning round, a weather term or term you're trying to get out of a relationship or get out of a date. Nocturnal windbag. Well, they wouldn't stop talking and I couldn't get out of there.
It'd be good. And also just a game are these things Reed has really said or made him up?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That's a good one. Two truths and a lie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
Which
That's
one
a
of
cool
these
one.
did he actually say?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nocturnal windbag is common language in Dixie Alley. That's because you all just love Reed Timmer so much. I mean, and it's fine, but nocturnal windbag. That is, you know what? I'm not going to say how good of an idea that is.
That's fun.
Yeah, because think about I remember even the beginning of meteorology classes. When the professor's talking way over your head, you're like, I've lost you already. Why can't you explain it? And I remember my second professor, Dr. Hobgood, who we've had on here and on Outbreak and Break, until I got him, then he just explained it so easily. And I'm like, oh, that's all it was. Why didn't the other guy do it?
Definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden the other pieces started to click. I'm like, well, thanks for wasting my time before that.
Because he's so casual about it.
Did you have Dr. Hobgood?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
He's been around forever.
I had him.
We both had him.
You had him.
You
Brady
did?
had him.
I had him.
My
In
God.
Nebraska.
He was at Ohio
That's crazy.
State.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's crazy.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Dr. Hobgood is immortal. I
He's
think
a
maybe
legend.
he's immortal.
I got to know him through you guys, and he's definitely a cool dude.
Yeah, he's very cool.
awesome.
He used to hang out we'd go down High Street, which is the main strip there at Ohio State, and he'd be out at one of the bars outside at sitting at a table just drinking his Heineken, kicking back, enjoying life, living life the way he should.
Our senior year, we invited all the professors over to our apartment, and everybody brought booze, and Hobgood was there.
Did he bring Heineken?
Wow.
Do you remember? It's
I
the
don't
green
remember.
bottle.
But Dr. Harrington, I don't know where he is now, but he brought moonshine.
Ooh.
Dr. Winkler, she was up in Michigan. I forgot what she brought, but it was crazy. I would never have expected that. Let's invite them, and they showed.
Good.
Good people. Good people.
That's awesome.
We're gonna have Dr. Hobgood back.
We should.
He's
We're
good.
never going to have him back for hurricanes.
It was funny. I had him on. I asked him to come on a Weather Channel TikTok thing we had. It was a live thing, and he came on. And I actually still have my notes from his class, and I have his name at the top, and I have it's 1996, and he's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, these pages are barely still sticking together. They're so old. But he loved it. It was so fun to talk to him.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. We're definitely
Yeah.
going to have him on Outbreak again for sure for hurricanes.
Yeah, he'd be a good one when we get some hurricanes this season.
Yeah.
And Maz, this is Tabby.
I know. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute. Where is she?
I'm actually at
Under
home.
track.
But I have like 0 cell service out at my house, so I just came back up to my truck so I can get on with you guys.
Nice.
Just so you don't hit your noggin in the morning.
That's
Yeah.
good.
What's up, Becky?
All right,
How
you
many nights
guys.
do you sleep in that?
Do what?
How many nights do you sleep in the trailer?
Well, I don't sleep in the trailer. That'd be
I'm at the
pretty
cab.
uncomfortable. I'm home every other weekend.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So 10 out of 14 nights generally ish.
10 out of 14, you're in the truck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no. No. I guess it'd be 12 out of 14.
Wow, that's still
Oh
a
my
lot.
gosh.
I hope that's a good
Angela, the
mattress
Aaron's was
in
getting
there.
worse.
Welcome, brother.
There's Brady's clone.
Hopefully
Someone
it's
just
comfortable in
subscribed.
there.
Someone just subscribed to the channel.
There we go.
Woo.
Awesome.
The
Nice.
company I work for, they didn't
I should
skip
be watching
on
that.
mattresses, so it's pretty comfy.
Oh, that's nice.
Hmm.
It's just
All
Stormy. She parkours during the night.
right.
Oh yeah.
At least if it's padded, she's not making a lot of noise.
Oh, well, no. She has a bell.
I don't think I've ever had a cat that didn't parkour at night.
Hey,
called
what
the
was
zoomies.
everybody drinking tonight? Just out of curiosity.
I
Yeah, we
wasn't
gotta-
really drinking any alcohol.
We got to bring that back. I was doing Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace and in memory, our RIP, you know. And Maz,
Yeah, we
you guys have
can't
been
leave
dealing
that
with some
out.
crazy flooding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very weird. You know, and I will say for those who have Androids or used Google Maps, it was horrible. It never rerouted or anything.
Really?
Didn't let us know.
Yeah,
Anybody
you said
who
that.
iPhone, Waze, you know, they were like, "Wow, we didn't believe it." So I ran into people and they're like, "Yeah, we just got it. We're gonna have to go back." So shoot.
Hmm.
So
Oh, and
nice.
Fuzzy, it was a little rough, but I survived. Fuzzy asked me if, because I stayed in a pop-up camper last time I was home when all those storms came through and were dropping tornadoes. If I survived.
And you were out camping?
Yes.
Girl, be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Especially if you're drinking around the campfire a little longer than you should, and then you get in your tent and pass out.
My dog's more responsible than I am. She takes care of me.
Oh, you have a dog too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So the dog and the cat.
Hmm.
That's right. Doggy. Doggy. She's
Yes.
asleep. She's like, don't bother me. All right, you guys. I'm gonna.
Yep. Say goodnight
Yeah.
to everybody
Good
online.
night.
We're gonna end
I
the
gotta
stream.
crash.
Night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
Good
everyone.
night, everybody.
I got to party up this weekend.